Hello YouTube. This is my first YouTube video and attempt to get everything I want in it. So today I wanted to discuss my Benelli M3 project, and I wanted to start off by talking about the people who inspired me to make this video, including Deltamanfx. He's had some great Benelli M3 videos on all the different modifications he's done to his Benelli M3 and the ups and downs and roller coasters of that. And also Polenar Tactical, which has had some great Benelli M3 videos, and hopefully one day I would love to take one of their training courses. And also there's been a couple of people who've recently, or within the past year and a half, also had Benelli M3s in their videos, including Mishaco, who actually had a video a year ago showing a brand new Benelli M3, since Benelli M3s are still being produced. I have a long list of places where I've gotten all my different components. And I just want to mention a few up front, including BenelliParts.net, OR3 Gun, which is a great company out of Oregon, Midwest Gunworks, which has a nice variety of original Benelli parts, NUMRICH Gun Parts Corporation, which also has a whole bunch of original Benelli parts, A&S Engineering, and Dawson Precision. And of course eBay, and Dave's Metalworks. So as I go through the different components, I will try to mention where I got each one. So to start off, this shotgun is clear, and I just finished oiling it, but there is the little indicator saying there's nothing in the shotgun. And the way I'm going to start off, I guess, is with the different stocks. So I bought this used several years ago, and I started off with this stock, which is the original Benelli M3 stock, which the previous owner took a hacksaw to and had a wooden and rubber insert in here to make it a shorter length of pull. I picked up the Mesa Tactical stock as soon as I bought it, and this is a pretty comfortable stock. Has a nice squishy rubber pad, has some inserts, and so it was a great stock for a few years. And then recently I started looking into other stock options, and I was super happy to find out that you can use the Supernova Tactical collapsible buck stock on the Benelli M3. Now this came from BenelliParts.net, and because I'm in California, I put a Granger 3/4 inch bit on the column here to make sure that it is not a collapsible stock. Therefore, it makes it a fixed stock in California. And when I recently went to Atlanta, I was able to take this off and really play around with the different lengths of pull, which was great. And then to kind of round things off, because my goal for this project is both self-defense / tactical and also competition, was the regular standard buckshot, which butt stock, which I will switch over to when I do skeet, and maybe some 3-gun. So those are all the variations of stock. And then the next thing I wanted to go through is some of the internal components. So I will pop out the trigger guard. Now my original trigger guard is here with the original um, ramp, shotgun shell ramp, and some of my components from the triggers. I found this great company called A&S Engineering, which came out with a version of a trigger group to help with loading the shotgun shells, since I did not want to do what a lot of competition people do, which is widen the port here. So it has this great little guide ramp for your shotgun shells. And so I sent my original one over. They switched out all the components and sent me back this one. The other good things about this is this new ramp is from Polenar Tactical. A lot of the hammer and spring components are from Polenar Tactical to make it 922R compatible. I replaced the follower so that is also part of the compliance. And I sent off the slide release to get tapped and to put in this enlarged release on there. Blanking out. So, so that's the innards for that. Now let's talk about different options for your extended magazines. Something that Deltamanfx has recently posted a video on because of his frustrations of trying to find end cap that's compatible with the M3. I pointed him to 3 sites, either Midwest Gunworks, NUMRICH Gun Parts Corporation, or Dave's Metal Works, because it is really tricky to find a Benelli M3 casing extension nut. And so I have actually 2 different ones for mine. So this was part of the original one that came with the used, when I bought this used, and it kept on jamming. And so that was because it doesn't have a really smooth connection between the two. But this may work with the extension tube that Deltamanfx has, and this does fit on the Benelli M3. Actually, sorry, this one does not. I'm getting mixed up. This one does, but it's too short to have it with an extension, and I kept on having the shotgun shells not feed correctly when I was using this one. One note is that this one has the knurls, and then there's a little up top. Now the extension I have when I have it in this configuration, this one has a little knurled version, and then it has a little lip. This space gives you space for your tube and where it connects to the shotgun. And I'm pretty sure this is the Sure Cycle I found either on Midwest Gunworks or the NUMRICH Gun Parts Corporation. I'm not sponsored by any of these things, by any of these companies. I just want to give credit from where I actually got them, because it is a little bit of a search to find Benelli M3 parts. So we go from that extension to this one. So extension tube came from Dave's Metal Works, which still currently has a lot of great aftermarket extension tubes for Benellis. And this connector that fits with this one you see has 2 knurled parts. And I think I may have gotten this one from eBay. And so it's one of those things where if I were looking for one like I know Deltamanfx is, I would make sure that it is longer than this one that will fit but will not take an extension tube, and either in this double knurled position or this single knurled position with the little ramp. Now, Deltamanfx has some great Cerakoting in green. Mine is Cerakoting in black. That Cerakoting plus the gunsmith that put on this stock for me is part of Discreet Defense, and they are up in Red Bluff. Going back to the collapsible stock, I got this from Benelli's Parts.net, which is in Southern California. They actually had a couple of these, or I may have gotten one of the last ones of the actual assembly. These two pieces left, and then what I did was I called them up, and they still had some more of the actual metal tube. Now, the way that they sent it to me was they sent an M4 tube and then a Supernova Tactical tube. And it was a spring inside here, which my gunsmith up in Red Bluff took out with a lot of anger and frustration. But you don't need it because the spring in the Benelli M3 is in here. It's not in the butt stock. So therefore, that will save you a lot of frustration if you're able to do the same configuration on your Benelli M3. Now, let's go to the different barrels. So I do want to use this in competition. So therefore, I bought the filled barrel. And what I did was I found a company up in Oregon that actually makes an adapter for this end. And so what it is that this was for the Mossbergs, I believe, for using them in competition. And you tap the rail up here, the ribs, and you put this adapter on, and then the actual sight came from Dawson's. This is a Glock silencer sight, and I figured out, or I kind of guessed the right size at the beginning, so I can actually use the ghost ring sights when I have my filled barrel on there. Other things to quickly go over is for a shot shell carrier. I ended up by default using the Velcro with the Velcro strips to put my shotgun shells on the side. I did buy the Mason Tactical side saddle, which I'll eventually put on there. But just like Deltamanfx and a lot of other, and a couple other YouTubers I saw Benelli M3, when you actually put your slide all the way back, this difference here, you would need to either cut this plastic or basically just need to cut the plastic. And so I'm going to have probably one of the gunsmiths do that for me once I buy a replacement, replace this section. My goal was to keep everything as stock as possible because I live in California and I wanted to retain the value for resale. So I actually had a lot of this work done by gunsmiths and not by myself. And I think that's about it. I will try to figure out a way to put all the names of all the different sources either in a description or in a comment as I finalize this video. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And thank you for watching.